Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav again. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. It is not just in India, but it has been a worldwide phenomenon where millions of people, or rather crores of people, have been duped and cheated by those entities and companies who have promoted illegal deposit schemes, popularly called Ponzi schemes. These particular schemes offer fantastic and fabulous return to the depositors, and it is there where they get lured and trapped by them. These fraudulent deposit seekers, they raise huge amounts of money, and after huge sums have been raised, they just vanish. While the depositors get lured and trapped because of their own greed, it is they who have sought fantastic, fast returns on their investments, which are actually not viable. So while it is their greed which is to blame for them getting cheated, but yet it is the duty and responsibility of the law to yet protect them. In India, we have a very comprehensive set of laws to protect depositors. These laws actually make it illegal for anybody except under permitted conditions to raise deposits from the public. Thus, as a general rule, a company is banned from taking public deposits. Banks and NBFCs are permitted to raise deposits from the public strictly and only as per the RBI guidelines, and so is the case with cooperative banks and cooperative societies. Mutual funds are permitted to raise money from the public only under the SEBI guidelines, and even a listed company which comes out with a deposit scheme needs to comply with the SEBI guidelines. Insurance companies need to follow guidelines of the IRDAI to be able to raise money from the public. And every state has very stringent criminal laws which make it a crime for anybody to have illegally raised deposits from the public and cheated them. And these criminal laws, like we have the MPID in Maharashtra, they entail long jail terms for those criminals, those fraudsters who have managed to lure the gullible public into giving deposits on the promise of fantastic returns. The fact remains is that despite such a comprehensive framework of laws, we still have Ponzi schemes that do come up. The recent case of West Bengal is one such recent instance. The entire state of West Bengal was affected by Ponzi schemes. The recent case of a Ponzi operator in Bangalore who managed to raise 1,000 crores from the public is yet another point. Why do these schemes, why do these fraudsters manage to dupe the public despite such comprehensive laws? The fact remains is that it is because the state colludes with these Ponzi operators. In West Bengal, the ruling party at the highest level has been found to collude with these Ponzi operators. In the Bangalore case, it was found that RBI, SEBI and the local authorities were negligent in taking action. They colluded in a way. It is because of this kind of a collusion or abetment that Ponzi operators still manage to operate. Otherwise, if the regulators were vigilant, if the state administration was not willing to collude or did not benefit from these Ponzi schemes, as per the present framework, these Ponzi operators, these illegal deposit schemes would not have ever taken off. Now, in this entire framework of laws, what is missing is regulation of individuals and unregistered entities. There are no specific laws that bar individuals and unregistered entities from taking deposits from the public. And it was seen in West Bengal that it was through this route also that depositors were lured and Ponzi schemes were floated. In order to prevent these kind of fraudulent individuals, in order to ensure that Ponzi schemes do not come from these individuals who operate below the radar, very surreptitiously and secretively and are found out only after they have raised huge funds, in order to ban them, to prevent them, the government has come up with a recent ordinance which is called the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Ordinance. This ordinance has raised a lot of confusion. It has raised a hue and cry. Let us look at the salient features of the ordinance in order to dispel this confusion, or at least to be able to analyze whether there are grey areas which are a matter of concern. The first one, under this ordinance, A deposit means money received by a deposit taker in any form with a promise to return. So if a person receives money without a promise to return, take donations, take charities, take grants, take gifts, those do not come under the definition of a deposit for the purpose of this ordinance and are not banned. So any confusion regarding gifts, donations, grants, sales, which is money not to be returned, there is no promise to return it, that does not get banned by this ordinance. So this confusion gets dispelled. The second one, under this ordinance, an individual is permitted to take money only from his relatives, and so is the case of a partnership firm which can take deposits only from the relatives of the partners. The issue being raised is what happens when an individual is not able to raise money from his relatives or from banks in an emergency situation. It could be a medical emergency, it could be an education emergency. This does remain a grey area, much as the government is trying to say that this ordinance does not prevent that. The fact remains is that for an individual who is not able to raise money from his relatives or from banks, he would perhaps be in a soup. This is a grey area which needs to be addressed. Incidentally, in the case of a business, if money is received for the purpose of business, directly related to it, and with a genuine connection with the business, the ordinance says that it would not apply to such deposits. But then, that is for a business. It looks like for a business, money can be received from unrelated persons. To us, this also seems to be a bit of a grey area. But in the matter of individuals, there seems to be no controversy. Any individual raising money from unrelated persons probably might be violating this ordinance. The next area of concern is that the ordinance says that an unregulated deposit would be one which is raised by any person as part of his business. Does it refer to a Ponzi operator whose business is to raise deposits even though illegally, or does it refer to those businesses who actually raise money for the purpose of their business? Would such businesses be construed to be, or would such entities be construed to have raised deposits as part of a business? In which case, they would actually be banned and they would be impacted. So there are these few grey areas, and these grey areas, I'm sure the government would be needing to clarify them to avoid confusion. This is a new law. It will take time to settle. It is bound to have grey areas. It is bound to have confusion. But what we see is that the hardship in the gestation period is going to be caused to individuals and small businesses and not to the large concerns. They need to be clarified at the earliest, because otherwise, if an individual takes money from non-relatives in an emergency, he would all the time be confused and be thinking that he has violated this ordinance. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Namaskar. HW News Network today is a year and a half old. Thanks to your support, thanks to your love, we've grown. We require your support a little more. What we request you to do is to download our free app. Our app is in English, Hindi and Marathi. We promise to update you with the latest news, views, analysis, interview. We also have a live TV going in that. If you download our app, we will get advertisers. And if we get advertisers, we'll get revenue. We get revenue, we can serve you better. So once again, please do support us. Please download our app. Namaskar.
एक बहुत पुराना फिल्मी गाना है, बदले बदले मेरे सरकार नजर आते हैं, जिसे आजकल प्रधान सेवक नरेंद्र मोदी पर लागू किया जाए तो थके थके मेरे सरकार नजर आते हैं। अगली दफे हो सकता है नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री न बने, कोई और बने। बीजेपी कोई अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जैसा शख्स तलाश कर रही है।
हाँ, मोदी जी ने कहा था न मैं खाऊंगा न खाने दूंगा। ये शायद कांग्रेस को पछती नहीं है। अब कांग्रेस की सरकारें कुछ राज्यों में बनी है, वो कम से कम अच्छा काम करें न करें, कम से कम इस बात को तो ध्यान में रखें कि बिना करप्शन का सरकार चला कर दिखाए।
मीडिया तो धराशायी हो चुका है, कम से कम देश को चाहिए एक सशक्त और मजबूत विपक्ष। क्या राहुल गांधी या फिर अरविंद केजरीवाल, अखिलेश यादव, मायावती, ममता बनर्जी एक सशक्त विपक्ष साबित होंगे?
अनेक विचारधाराएं, एक मंच। ये हमारे दर्शकों पर यानी आप पर निर्भर करता है कि आप कौन से विचारधारा से सहमति रखते हैं।